everyone, I'm Patrick Wood and today we're talking about media convergence in 3 minutes. Start the timer. So, many of the trends we see in today's media environment stem from technological changes and a shift to online platforms. We're no longer content to just wait for the news to come on TV that evening or to see it in the papers the next morning. When something happens, we want to know about it now. And that means going online. Now, this shift means there have been drops in circulation of print editions of newspapers, and in turn there's less revenue from advertising and classifieds. In the US, for example, as of 2008, total newspaper circulation was estimated to be at the same level as it was in 1945, despite the population more than doubling, and it's continued to drop since. This means many regional newspapers haven't been able to survive on their own. They've been bought out by larger companies, which has greatly concentrated the ownership of media. So although there are some smaller groups still out there, most papers in Australia are now owned by 2 major companies, either News Corp or Fairfax Media. This concentration of ownership has meant a number of redundancies for journalists and editors, and a change in the types of stories told, as major stories can now be pushed out to regional papers from a shared central newsroom. Those journalists who remain are also facing an increasing workload. Not only do they have to write a print article, they now also face online editions, and also sometimes video versions or photo slideshows. This means they have less time to spend researching and improving the quality of their stories, which has resulted in the drop-off of investigative journalism, which we talked about in last week's episode. Of course, there are also some great upsides to using these new technologies. While it is extra work for the journalist, video and multimedia content on websites help to engage audiences in a way which couldn't be done with text alone. It also allows for instant feedback and a closer connection with readers. The audience can be reached out to for tips and to crowdsource information during research for a story. The conversation also is no longer one way. Audiences are now able to have their say through comments and have a say in the news that they see. And in addition to these comments, statistics can be used to find which stories are being viewed and engaged with the most, and help target future stories towards this audience. And that's great news for newsmakers, but the question remains of how to make it all profitable. For example, many of News Corp's online publications, such as the Wall Street Journal in the US and the Australian Financial Review here, have erected paywalls in front of their content as a solution. This could help make the websites more commercially viable, but if people don't want to pay for their information online, they may turn somewhere else they can get it for free. This includes blogs and even social media, which is something we're going to talk about next week. So, that's media convergence in just a little under 3 minutes. I hope this video has helped give you an idea of the issues we now face in a changing landscape, and I would like to end on a question for you. Do you think there's a future for purely text-based journalism, either in print or online? Or are we looking at a future where everything will need to exist in multiple forms? So as always, let me know your thoughts, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!